Good morning, everybody. This is a package that came in the mail the other day. First of all, I want to say, by watching my channel, you're going to learn more things about me. One, that I like knives, one, I like guns. I like getting things at a decent price that's good quality, if I can get that lucky sometimes. Sometimes when you buy things on the internet, you take a hit and miss because you can't handle it. You're going off what other people say. And even then, maybe they got a good run and you get a bad run. So I also play musical instruments. And I had got this, I ordered this. This is something that I wanted because it's got some kind of iconic it's kind of got some historical things about it. It's kind of cool. So I ordered a bass kit because I play the bass and I dabble a little bit in guitar. I actually play bass in our church. So I ordered this online. I just want to see what all this is. This is the store. Slip from the store. So I got this Saturday morning. I opened it to make sure everything was there. It's supposed to be there, but now I want to show you what you can expect if you order this, okay? I ordered this from Leo. I'm going to butcher the last portion of the store's name. Jaymz. I think it's jaymz, I want to say. That's what I ordered. And what I ordered was the Explore bass kit. You can get this, the same brand. You can order the bass on Amazon. It was like $179 free shipping. So you're probably about $183, $184 with tax. When I ordered it from the store, I didn't get taxed, and I didn't have to pay for shipping either, and I got it for $150, so it was $159. So let's go over the whole main part. This is the body. First of all, take note of the box. It's not very big. It doesn't go. So this is not going to be a full-scale. Let's get the name right there on there. Okay, it's Leo. The last name part is jaymz. It comes with the instruction kit how to put it together, but everything is all pre-cut, pre-formed, and all your holes has been pre-drilled so you can route everything. They actually have a quick video on YouTube where they just kind of do a speed motion where they pull it, open out of the box, and throw it all together. So what you're getting is mahogany body, and that is real mahogany. That's real mahogany, but it is a 4-piece. So you have one up here in this wing, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's 5-piece. I'm sorry, 5-piece. There is a piece right there. Okay, so you have 1 piece down here in this wing, 2 right here, 3, 4, and then 5 in this wing. Okay, and it is boards to put together. I will notice that the wing part down here at the end seems to be a lighter shade of mahogany. Now I did my research and I know that there are different types of mahogany tree that's can be considered mahogany in the mahogany family. So you'll see back here, even the characteristics on the back side of this mahogany section right here is got some light characteristics in it. And then over here, it's got some dark characteristics. When you flip it over, it seems to be the same shade. So it's got some red tones and some brown tones in it. But it is real mahogany. That's good, because sometimes they say, oh, you get mahogany. Well, they might take a mahogany cap top, put mahogany on the top, and glue it to some basswood or something. And then cut it out, so you're getting mahogany and basswood. So this is mahogany. The drill portion, they probably should have changed the bit. They kind of bulged it when it went straight through for your wires to go through for their humbuckers. They kind of messed that up. You're not going to see that when humbuckers are in there, but still, there's a pretty deep gash in the wood right here. You have to get some wood filler. If you were going to paint it, I'm going to stain it, so I'm not going to be able to put wood filler. It's going to look pretty tacky, but I can take note of where it's going to be at. And considering the bridge, because this takes a 3-point bridge, it's going to go right here. It's going to cover a little section of it, but I'm still going to see right here. So maybe this part, it's just heavy, real thick right back in here. Up in here, it's not. You're going to have to sand this. There are some rough spots. It's somewhat sand, like they did a quick job, but it's still a little bit rough in some areas right in here. I don't even know if sandpaper will be necessary. You'd probably be able to get this with some Scotch-Brite, because even where the glue's at, they did a pretty good job at sanding it down. So, all in all, it might not be up to full scale, but it's going to be pretty bulky still. So, that's the body. We'll set this up here. And it comes with the directions. It tells you what to do. Oh, and it's in color. These are actually screenshots from the video. So that's cool. Most companies, if you get direction kits from, they do not come in color. They come in black and white. These are in color, telling you exactly what to do. However, I've seen this video, and this is by a totally different guy that makes it for the staining process. So that's good. It comes with this. So now let's go over the next little package in here. This is where your hardware comes in. This comes with everything you need in one bag. Now, some people will say, yeah, that's cool, that's awesome. And some people won't. But here's your black plate, your back plate. It's just plastic. There's nothing fancy about that. It comes with a cheap cord and a few Allen keys to adjust your truss rod and the intonation on the bridge. Your pre-wired pickups. Now these are going to tell you, one's got a red wire, one's got a yellow wire. The book will tell you what position they go in, because you got some that are hot, some mellow. Now, and then you got your jack plate. Everything's pre-wired. Now these are, these are solderless. These are plug and go. You literally just plug these things up and go. So if you don't know how to solder, this company takes it, I'm going to assume all of theirs are like this, because it didn't specify that this was pre-wired, but these are good to go. You just plug these in and go. And you got your black ground that's going to go back by your bridge. So nothing has to be soldered. You can build this the way it is. Okay, then you get your hardware pack. Got your springs for your pickups. Little screws right here for the plastic part that goes up on the neck to cover the truss rod. You got your these are for your bridge. They kind of set down like the ferrules that go down in the body for the bridge, for the 3-point bridge. You got your strap lock, your straps for your strap locks. These are screws for the pickups. These are the little screws for the back plate. These are the nuts for your tuners. These are the screws for your neck plate. And then this package is your final package. This has your strings. It comes with strings. That's cool. Cheap set of bass strings is like $10 on Amazon. Comes with your 3-point bridge, your tuners. Comes with 3 knobs for your volumes and tones, and it comes with your back plate with a black pad. So that's what comes in your hardware pack. That's everything you need to build your kit. All your major parts. Now, here's the good part, or here's the other part. Now, besides the body, components don't mean anything. Components don't mean anything because you can buy stuff and put on there. You need your body to be built somewhat good. I mean, if it's got gas, you can fill it with, you know, if you're going to paint it, you fill it with wood filler, sand it down, stuff. Your neck has to be straight. Your frets have to be good. Now, this is a maple, unfinished maple neck with a rosewood fretboard, and I will say that it's real rosewood. That's pretty rosewood. I've seen prettier rosewood, but this has got good tones, good characteristics in there. I don't feel the frets coming down. It's actually, that's really smooth, real smooth. That's real smooth. Well, this part of the maple's a little rough down here. I was sending it just a little bit so it wasn't so rough, so I had no burrs, but that's gonna go down the cavity. The holes are pre-drilled on the part that goes in the cavity, and the holes are pre-drilled up here for your tuners. So this is all mocked up. You got your traditional style banana, what they call banana style headstock. So it comes down just like what Gibson uses. You do have a plastic nut. Looks like it doesn't really set in a groove. It looks like one of those deals where you could just kind of glue it in, where you can pop it off and replace it with a husk one or a bone one. Sorry. Hush, hush, hush. It doesn't specify that these are stainless steel. I'm going to go on a limb and say that they're not. I'm going to say that they're just kind of like a regular nickel coated one. So, I mean, but they feel good. I have to check everything with the file to make sure everything's level, that the truss rod doesn't need adjusted, but looking down here, got a slight bend to it. This part tapers down, so we'll have to adjust the truss rod. But it gave me the tool to do it. That's right there. So we'll have to adjust the truss rod. But I'm excited to get started on this and build it. So stay tuned. This is going to be in a series because I'm not going to use half the stuff that they give me. I've already been ordering some things and looking at other options and stuff. Not that I'm replacing everything, but yeah, I'm going to be using some other stuff that I've ordered. I got a whole vision in sight of what I want to do. So yeah, this is the Leo jaymz. I can't pronounce the last name. Explore Bass Kit. This is what you can expect when you purchase it. I hope you liked the video, and subscribe to stay tuned for more updates on it as I do it, and for other content. Until then, remember, friends, this is Christian Knife Guy signing out, and don't cut yourselves. Okay, so here we are in the garage and shop. This is the body stained. Before you start your body, what you want to do is you want to place your neck to find out if you're going to have to put any shims in there. So if it doesn't come with shims, if you're going to have to order shims, you need to order shims. Do a dry fitment of your pickups and a dry fitment of the plate that goes on the back. because you want to make sure that that fits, and you're not going to need to do any cleaning up of the routing or anything. The pots and stuff will all go in there, and the jack will go in the bottom. And obviously the ferrule's going to go in here for the bridge. So you want to make sure that that's going to fit, and that these are going to fit, and the back part's going to fit. So if you need to order shims or you need to sand more out, you're going to want to do this before you sand. If you're going to need to route this out a little bit more in one area, you're going to do that before you stain. Okay, this is 3 coats of stain and 1 coat I just put on here of a polyurethane to kind of seal in the stain, because I don't want anything to get kind of coated on. So I'm going to let this dry overnight. I'm going to go over this because it's going to leave it a little bit rough textured. I'm going to go over this with a quadruple aught steel wool. All right, that's going to take away the rough part, and then I'll probably do another coat with poly. Now, I wanted this to get a little bit darker. So one thing about mahogany is there's like 5 or 6 different trees that are in the mahogany family, and they all share the reason why they're saying they're all in the mahogany family, because they all share the same characteristics of mahogany. So this shares a characteristic of mahogany, so they classify as mahogany. So each mahogany won't take the stain the same way, so that's why you got some darker over here, some darker here, and some light here. Now, when I did the unboxing, remember, right in here was a light, and over here was a light patch. Those took the stain a lot darker than some of the other, which is fine. It gives a characteristic. It's not painted, it's stained. In the back, it's pretty consistent in the back. That's fine. That's what we want. And then on the sides, it's all dark where it's obviously grooved. So the stain that I used is Rust-Oleum wood stain. It's Kona. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. And then the polyurethane that I'm using is a clear satin, so it's going to give it a satin finish. Oddly enough, it looks like that. The can and the stuff inside is still good, but it's kind of crusted up, so I had to beat a hole in it and pour it into a old cup. So I'm actually going to cover the cup up with an old rag so that I can come tomorrow, let it dry overnight, hit it with some quadruple aught steel wool, and do another coat. I'm thinking 2 coats of that should be good enough. I'm not going for a gloss finish. I'm just going to seal in the stain so the stain doesn't go wearing on me. And then we're going to be ready to line the inside with copper conductive tape. I didn't buy the paint. It's kind of expensive. The paint is inexpensive if you're doing multiple guitars. I'm just doing this right now, so the tape is actually more expensive for me. I'm only going to put a little bit in this cavity and a little bit back in here. So I also put tape here. You should always put tape here, because if it's a fitment, it's perfect. If you got a little bit of wiggle room, it's fine. You ain't gonna worry about it. If you don't have wiggle room, it's a perfect fit. You don't want to get tape, or you don't want to get stain or paint in your neck cavity at all. So it helps to put some tape there too. Plus it looks a lot better. So yeah, there we go. This is after 3 coats of that stain and 1 coat of the poly. Tomorrow I'm gonna let this dry, and we'll steel wool back and do another coat. I will come back and show you when the product is done after all that, and I'll let you know if I had to do any more. Okay, I spare you guys from watching me do all this work and stuff, so I'm just going to tell you what I've done. I film all this with my phone, so I don't have like editing where I can speed up videos and everything. So far I've got 3 coats of the Kona wood stain and 2 coats of poly urethane. This is the clear satin. So, and in between those coats, I went over it with a quadruple 4 O's. Steel wool to get back the rough spots so it's smooth. I'm not looking for a gloss finish. I'm just looking to seal in the stain. And I went over it so you got a little bit of sheen there because it's a satin, and it's gonna be fine. There are some little dull spots. You can't make it out very good. And I'm fine with that. And I'm gonna go over this with a furniture polish too, so it may clear the dull spots up. There's a little bit up in here, little hazy spots where maybe I went through the polyurethane a little bit too much. So everything, all the rough spots that was off for the polyurethane, is gone. This is completely smooth, so I'm ready for the next step, and that is to line my cavity with copper conductive tape. I'm going to do this cavity back here because this is where the pots and everything go. And then I was thinking about putting some at least down in here on the bottom portion, but if I do that, I'm going to cover the cavity where the one pickup wire runs through. So I've already dry fitted everything to make sure everything fit and I didn't have to route nothing out, which you should do anyways before you decide to stain or paint. And it's a very tight fit in here, so if I put copper conductive tape in here, it may cause me issues. So I'm guessing I'm probably just going to do the back. Those are sealed pickups real good, so shouldn't be any issue. And I believe they're a humbucker style pickup anyway, so I should be fine on that. For the neck, I also did 2 coats of the Kuna oil or Kuna stain on this. I was debating if I wanted to do just the front headstock and leave the back bare and just put like tung oil or something on it, true oil. I'll probably do true oil. So I decided, well, I'm just going to do the whole neck because I think it looks good and it'll match the base. So the stain took to this differently, where that is mahogany and this is maple. So what I did was I just finished doing this coat, so it's a little bit wet. Taped off my fretboard so I'm getting none on the rosewood. Done it all back in here. Now these are thin coats, so getting on here is not going to be that bad. I think it looks real good, so I'm not going to put polyurethane on the neck. If I'm going to do any of it, it's just going to be on the front headstock, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put true oil on the whole thing because I like, and I'm going to go back with some Scotch-Brite, probably right in here. So it's going to give it a wear look, but I like somewhat of be able to slide up and down my neck. If it's really polyurethaned up and glossy and stuff, sometimes your hands will stick. So that's why you see a lot of guys will take like some Scotch-Brite and they'll go back just to smooth it out. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's yours. Most people say, oh, you're going to ruin it. Well, it's yours. You're playing it. Use your stuff. You know, you make it so it's comfortable for you. That's why a lot of guys go for custom shops and relic ones, because all that stuff's already done for them, so they don't have to do it themselves. So don't be afraid to do it yourself. My brother's bought brand new bases and had a gloss thing, and he's went through it and it looks fine. It just takes the clear coat off of it. The color's still there. So the color will still be there. Sorry. The color will still be in there because all this is soaked in the wood, but I have to seal it in. Because moisture and stuff, stains will bleed. The dyes in it will bleed, not the stains. The dyes in the stains will bleed through, and you don't want to get the junk on your hands from condensation. So that's why people put clear coats and stuff on it to seal it in. So we're just going to put probably 2 or 3 coats of true oil, and then I'll go back just to seal it in and just to keep it smooth. So we're gonna let that dry, harden overnight. I mean, this stuff's supposed to be ready 15 minutes, but I like to let it cure overnight. And then I got my gas tank ready for the decals, both sides, and then I'm gonna clear coat that. I just got done wiping it down with an alcohol. I wiped it down with the wax cloth to get all the dust and everything off of it, and then I went over with an alcohol thing to make sure it's all clean surface for my decals, so I might be doing that later. The clear coat looks pretty nice on there. So we're gonna finish that. It's a totally different project. So that's what we're at so far. I'll show you. The next step will be hooking the cavity up, because the tongue oil, I don't know if we're gonna, the true oil, I don't know if that's something you really want to see or not, but yeah, we'll do that because we're gonna do all the steps on the build. That's the video, all the steps in the process of this build. Now, any problems that I come across, you can expect to see. But we did dry fit the neck in the cavity, and we did dry fit the pickups in the cavity to make sure everything was fine. So make sure you do that. I didn't dry fit anything else, but here we go. Okay. All right, we're back with the wiring part. Now remember, this is a consumer perspective on this. This is not a product review DIY build. Okay, I'm not doing a how-to video. I'm doing a consumer's point of view. Okay, problems you would run into that you can expect when purchasing this kit. Okay, so I'm doing the wiring, and it comes with a wiring diagram. I mean, the detail of the book is very good. The pictures are even color, and there's a video on YouTube from the company showing you how to build this. Okay, so but it's sped up a little bit, and it's not great in detail when it comes to this portion, and even this is not great in detail, so I had to shoot from the hip on this. You have to have the pickups unhooked. Now mind you, mine, and I'm assuming all of them, are going to be hooked up the same way. Okay, everything's already going to be hooked up sitting in the box, so you have to keep in mind that. I unplugged them to set them aside to do a dry fit to make sure it fit, and I didn't plug them back up. So I forgot, and I didn't mark it. One wire is red and one wire is yellow. I wasn't thinking to look at the pot wires to see which ones it was, but both pot wires are yellow. So I was reading in here and looking in here and seeing if it regulated a difference to tell you like how much ohms are in the front and how much ohms are in the back. It doesn't specify. So for all I know, they're probably both the same. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna have to take the pickups back out and unplug them and switch them, which is not a soldering issue since we're going with the quick connects that came with it. If you don't trust the quick connects, you can snip them and solder the wires together. So it made installation very easy. I even insulated the cavity with my copper tape. Now, one thing that I did do instead of purchasing is I did paint the heads of my screws black. I just grabbed an old shoe box, jammed them down in there, and just painted. So these are the 4, these are the 2 that go for the cover back here, and then the 2 that go for the end plate, which you can buy one very cheap, or if you got black paint, you can just remove the thing, remove the cover, scuff it up, and paint it. The paint that I only, you know, you're not gonna see the shiny side, you're not gonna see that side. So what I did was I just scuffed it up with some sandpaper, smoothed it out with some Scotch-Brite, so it wasn't like porous, like heavy, you could feel it, and I hit it with a flat black primer / paint mix, so it's pretty durable. And it's gonna go with the flat black look, and I did the same thing with the screws. So let's flip this over carefully. Let's see what we got going here with. Did the same things, but the screwdriver kind of scratched them a little bit, but they're not as shiny as they were. These I didn't do anything with because I ordered some black covers for them. Hopefully they fit. I put the 2 in. Your ground comes through here. That's how the directions say, and then it's got a hole that's made in, it's drilled through here into the cavity, so it comes right up through. I'm going to probably get too much wire going here. I'm probably going to clip some, open some more up, because the way this says to go is this all has to be done in this cavity, because you have your other ferro that's got to go down in here, and there's no way for that to come up because it comes off the side. So says to the bridge. So I'm not sure. Even the ground here says ground to bridge. So, and the bridge is not. The bridge is going to slightly float. These right here are going to raise it up off the wood. And this right here in the video was just showing that he slipped it and it's touching the ferrule. So there's what you're going to run into problem to is the directions are telling you one thing. It comes out long enough to where you would think it would just lay right here. And then your bridge would sit on top, but your bridge doesn't sit flat. This guy's not going to get a good connection at all. I mean, you would have to tape it to your bridge, which is an option you could do, but I'm worried about, see where it comes right in? Your ferrule is going to smush that. It's going to pack it down in there some. It's going to smush it. So I'm going to do some research to find out the proper way of doing this, to find out if that's the way, because the way the video says that I watched, the video just shows him pulling it out and leaving it in there, pushing his ferrule in there. The directions say to the bridge, which doesn't make sense because, like I said, it's going to be raised up some. It's going to be raised up slightly. I mean, that's just a few, that's not even an inch or anything. That's not even a quarter of an inch. We're talking centimeters, but centimeters, and that wire is only centimeters. This is raised twice as thickness, if not 3 times the thickness of this wire. This is raised. That's not going to set and be tight against it. So this is the first issue that I'm coming into. So you can expect that because that's going to be across the board. That's going to be what to expect when you get these kits. These pickups are tight fit, which is good. Very good. Your wire runs through here, this cavity. Then there's a hole that goes off to the side, and you have to run both of them through here. So you have to be careful when you're putting your back pickup in that you're not hitting your screw on the wire that comes here or the screw on the wires that come this way. So you have to watch what you're doing there. The rest of them fit, and then you can raise and lower. They don't go far down in there, but they do, kind of. Okay, I was doing some more reading and research. I'm back. And this even tells you right here, it says, it tells you in the directions, note that there is a small hole running from the treble side, running through the control cavity. This is for the string ground. The ground wire needs to be installed before the bushing. It says the tip of the wire for 1/2 inches. So you need to snip it back 1/2 inch through the hole into the cavity, and leave it in the cavity to contact with the bushing once installed. So it is based off of the little like ferrule bushing ferrule, whatever. It looks like a ferrule to me, but it's got threads. So we could push a little bit into the cavity, so I have some. And I'll snip some back. I'll probably just open about that. I'll probably snip a little bit off and then open it about that much and stuff it down in there so that it comes in contact with this, because that's what they say. And there's really no other research on here. So now a note I will say, if you're going to paint this or stain it like I did, I put something over these and used a rubber mount to hit them in there. You need to get them seated in there, and even then, you see that right there, it kind of digs in. And then even over here, I scratched the wood when I was tightening these down. See that? So nobody's gonna see it because the covers are gonna go down about right there. But still, just take note when you're doing this, you should probably put some like protective tape there, or just be extra cautious. I just put a stain on here, so, and nobody's going to see that either because the thing's going to cover it. But I know it's there, and it's a little bothers me because I been spending a lot of time on this, being extra careful with everything, and then mess that up. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this snip what's gotta go and get my other ferrule in here and go ahead and tie up the back end. I went ahead and, went ahead and screwed this in. See, the black doesn't, you just don't see shiny completely. You see the black and you're gonna see where the paint comes off. So it's not a heavy duty paint versus buying it all black. And then everything's connected and I shove it in the cavity. Now the plastic cover, I'm thinking about taking some conductive tape and putting on the back side of it. I'll probably do that and just trim it. I do have some left, just so that's covered on this side as well. So here we go. It did say it right here in the directions, but it always helps to look at other options too, because sometimes the way things are built, things get built in a rush, and the company, I'm assuming they probably build these kits, but I don't know if they throwing these together. It's possible they're throwing these pots together, that this is all in-house stuff, their own stuff, because most kits you get is not quick connect. Most kits you get a solder stuff. So there we go. We're gonna do that, and then be the next adventure, probably be seating the neck. All right. Okay, here's the progress so far. I went ahead and bolted up my neck. I did not use the chrome neck plate. I bought a black one to go with the black hardware. And I went ahead and mounted up the bridge. I cut a little bit, about that much off of the tip. And then I took about that much off, so it was all loose wire stuffed inside there, and then mounted that in. Okay. The bridge, I painted black except for the bottom portion. I left, took some sandpaper and scuffed it up so that the bridge would actually touch a little bit. So it should be ground, and I left these the way they are and put them on there and tighten my screws up. So I'm waiting on black knobs that I ordered for these, black strap locks that I ordered, and black tuners that I ordered. Eventually I may change the nut up here. It is just a plastic nut, so we'll see how the bridge and the nut work. The tuners are be decent for the style. They don't offer a lot of good aftermarket designs for that style. I would have to completely change the style to something different, and I like the style that's on there. But I'm pleased with how it come out. It's looking good. I'm anxious to get it all together to see how it sounds. The truss rod, I didn't put the cover up here yet, because looking down here, looks like it's somewhat straight. Got a little bit of a bow, but I know your neck has to have some bit of a bow as it goes. So I'm leaving that on until I get my strings on to see which way it needs to go. Then once we get our truss rod fully set, then we can put the cover on. So yeah, it's going together pretty good, and I really haven't had to look at the directions except for when I was doing the pickups to make sure that the wires were done, but they really made it easy to do that too, if you just wait to do that before you unplug. It's very versatile. Like I said, I did a stain on this. You could get away with painting it if you wanted to. Put a good sealer on the wood and put a good paint on it. But I really like that neck, how I put that stain on there. It's got almost like a roasted look to it. I think the maple took that stain a lot better than the mahogany though. It had some light spots in the mahogany. You can definitely see where the certain types of mahogany, when we did our initial opening, how the wood was different. You can see here and here where they had light spots. And on the back, where the wood was lighter in certain areas. It's just the way wood takes stain. Same way on the neck. There's some spots that are lighter and darker. Brings out the grain. It's all smooth. Real nice and smooth. Sealed. Put true oil on the neck. 2 coats of poly satin on the body. And then smoothed it out. Went back on it and smoothed it out. So we can take now you can take like a wood conditioner and cleaner. Murphy's oil is good. Murphy's oil would be great for this since it's wood and it's a wood stain, like a furniture polish deal. You can get back to using that because you don't have like a poly paint. So that'd be great. All right, well, we'll continue this video chopping up and process, and we'll make sure that everything goes in there. And this is pretty versatile so far and very easy to assemble. Okay, we got it together, so we're gonna go over the issues that occurred while putting it together. First of all, I didn't use the strings that came with it. I got these DR Black Beauties because they look good because with black hardware. So they did not want to set in the nut evenly. They kind of rode above it, kind of like how they still kind of are. So I had to kind of file down the nut a little bit so they fit in there. So it needs to go down a little bit more because you can see the action is a little high on it. So we're going to fool with that. And the intonation on this thing was a bear to set up. So this one's right on, and these ones are a little sharp. We got black strap locks, black knobs. So all in all, I need to finish the final setup on it. You'll have to know how to do all of that. But that's what to expect. These are a little bit of a heavier gauge than what came with it. And I'm gonna have to just truss rod some, so I didn't put the cover on yet. But it feels good. And it looks nice. I'm really happy how it turned out. I haven't plugged it in yet to an amp. So I'm gonna do that today, later on. Should work. Went together like the book said. So I hope this helps anybody. Any problems to occur, you can expect the nut to be a little off if you're running heavier gauges. I haven't even tried the other ones to see, so I'm going to have to take the nut down a little bit more. And then mess with the truss rod a little bit. So there you go.